Hello everyone. We are back today with 2 new kit reveals. Not gonna lie, these kind of came out of nowhere. I don't think anyone predicted that we were gonna get ring IDs. But, you know, here we are. I mean, we've got Outis, we've got Yisang. I've heard a lot of theory crafting about these. Just at a glance, it looks like people that we're talking about, apparently these showed up in Leviathan, or Distortion Detective, and they were bleed. Looks like that has been confirmed. Just at a glance, it looks like these are bleed IDs. But I will say this is my first time seeing them. So, as always, going to give my first impressions. And just remember, take everything I say with a grain of salt. And just because something might look good on paper or on a kit, that does not mean it translates well to the game itself at Uptime 4 at max level in artist content. So, with that out of the way, let's begin with the ring Pointillist student Outis. This is our 2-0 ID. We've, let's see, 3 skills, all pierce. They're pierce ID. Okay, these are pierce IDs. Interesting. We have a lust, wrath, and ending with a greed skill. Yes, I couldn't think of the word. I can't remember the last time I've seen a greed skill. They're not actually all that popular. Kind of like sloth. Usually never get them. Okay. Skill 1. Dotting or doting. Either or. If the target has X plus bleed, gain clash power. If the target has X plus bleed, gain coin power. Perfect. You know, we love to see it. As I said, every ID that does status effects should have it. Should always be able to scale really well. Wait. Oh, I just glanced. All 3 of them are also 2 coins each. That's also a little interesting. Okay. But for the skill 1, on hit, inflict bleed. Another hit, inflict bleed. Okay. Nice and simple. Gets that bleed going. Skill 2, sanguine painting. The target has X plus bleed, gain only clash power. That's okay. Yep. Clash power or coin power, you know. Happy to have it either way. On hit, X percentage chance to reuse coin. Plus X plus more chance to reuse coin for every Y negative effect on the target. And then inflicts bleed count when reusing coin with the skill's effect. Inflict more bleed count. Oh my lord. Have we ever had a skill that does that? I don't think we have. Like when I was theorizing with, I was incorrect about the Chief Butler Ryoshu, that I thought that reusing a coin meant that as long as it kept meeting the effect, it could keep being reused, and I was incorrect about that. So when you kill something with Ryoshu's skill 3, it only hits another target. Even if it kills that other target, it's not used again. This, though, is not only is there a chance to reuse the coin, but you get more chance to reuse the coin for every negative effect on the target. I mean, I assume there's some kind of internal cooldown or internal, like, stacking so it can't go infinite, but, like, it's not that hard to really, like, max a lot of, you know, debuffs on a target. It's really not that hard. Could this be like a 4, 5, 6 coin skill? As long as you keep hitting that reuse effect? That could be a nuke. This could be a nuke just on its own. Interesting. Interesting. That is exciting. I do really like that skill. That's very cool. Already off to a good start with the ring IDs. The skill 3 is Artwork Inspection. If the target has X plus bleed, gain coin power. Perfect. Deal X% more damage for every Y negative effect on target. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, we're getting these effects that are not only just for bleed, but also just for negative effects in general. which means, apologies for that, always are the best times with my alarms, which means to me that it looks like these IDs are supposed to be like, well, maybe they're not just supposed to be bleed IDs on their own. Maybe you're supposed to run like a mixed comp. Maybe some bleed IDs and then a few sinking, or maybe some bleed IDs and some rupture. Like stuff that applies really easily and you can stack up all nice on the target. Or, in more likelihood, if we get a full ring team, you just run them and you take like ego gifts that do rupture or do sinking or do things that you're not even actually capitalizing on in mirror dungeons that'll just stack up on their own if you get enough enough of the ego gifts. Like rupture is super easy to get going in mirror dungeon, even if you don't have a single rupture ID on the team. All you need is like the talisman from the doll, and then upgrade it twice, and then you're basically playing a rupture comp. But yeah, no, I'm interested to see where this is going to go and how many coins we can get out of the skill 2 and skill, perhaps, yeah, just the skill 2, and how much damage you can get out of the skill 3. But continuing on use applies haste to 2 allies that are adjacent to this unit. Awesome. Okay. Hey, giving haste for free. Hey, I'm not going to turn it down. It's great to have. Inflicts bleed on the first hit. Inflicts one of the following effects on the second. Burn, bleed, tremor, rupture, or sinking. Effects selected at random. Admittedly, that's not great. I mean, you want more consistency with what you're applying so you can plan around it better, but it's kind of like, you know, Gregor's hand ego, his OG one, where you just get a random assortment of debuffs that just hits the target. So, like I said, maybe you're taking a bunch of items that are ego gifts that scale off of a bit of everything, so that you just proc everything when it goes off. Interesting. And then, after the attack, if the target is staggered or defeated, apply pierce damage up. Next turn to one ally with the highest SP. Okay, very good. That's nice. The affected ally is a ring member. Oh, there's the call out. Member of the ring, apply pierce power up as well. Ooh, okay. So the skill 3 is going to be her nuke skill, because it has scaling damage on it. Though the skill 2 might do more damage depending on the RNG. And hey, if you stagger or defeat them, which is really nice because on kill is a lot harder than on stagger or kill. Not only are you getting that pierce damage, you're getting that pierce power, so better clashing and more chance to apply your effects, which means you'll, in the long run, clash even better. So, great to see it. Looks like this is a defense skill. These aren't usually too crazy, but hey, Philip Claire's defense skill is actually incredible. It rolls like a native, like 30 to 45. It's actually insanely good. I hope they make all defense like that in the future. So we'll have to see. Gains coin power for every X bleed on target. Yep. Nice scaling. Nice built-in scaling. If you have to take a hit, maybe you'll get a lot of value out of it. Passive. Multitude of dots. Oh, that's okay. That's funny. That's a little fun there. Get it? Because the negative status effects that are damage over time, dots, and then there's a multitude of them, and you know, you get it. Combat start. Inflict one of the following effects on 2 enemies with the least negative effects. Burn, bleed, tremor, rupture, or sinking. Effects selected at random. So combat start, you just hit 2 things with negative debuff. And for the most part, it's not going to matter that much, but what if it's bleed? You hit 2 enemies, and if you get bleed out the gate, that's already scaling your stuff. Hey, that's RNG in your favor. You know, I'll take it. I think there's definitely a lot of possibility there. And then her support passive finally is Rough Sketch. One ally with the least SP heals SP from defeating an enemy with bleed. That's actually a really good. Yeah, that's a really good skill to have for. Just in your back line if you're running like a bleed comp, though not with BL of course, as Outis needs to be in the comp, but If you're not running BL team and you have a, you know, bleed comp, hey, that's insanely good. And then heal additional SP for every X negative status effect on target. That actually might be really strong. That also might be really, really good depending on how much it heals. Like, well, she can't go on a burn team because she Magic Bullet Outis is needed for the burn team, but I'm sure there'll be comps out there that like are all debuff based and you're not running Outis, and hey, you just throw that in the back line. That's 2 separate conditions for SP gain. So hey, that's really good. All in all, despite being a 2-0, a 2-star, however you want to call it, this is a really interesting ID. I'm interested. You know, this is peaked, and you know, I'm just trying to think of the possibilities. Where do we go from here? What kind of comps are we see with this ring team? Is it a team on its own? Are they all gonna be bleed based? You know, maybe some are rupture based, maybe some are tremor based, and if they're all bleed, then you know, maybe we have some empty slots in there. Who do we throw in? You know, do we throw in like you know, maybe a tremor AD to get that tremor going and tremor burst? Or maybe we throw in some rupture. Like I said, I think rupture is going to be the easiest. Throw in some rupture. Why not? Get the rupture going. The more you stack up higher, the harder it scales, the more damage you're doing, and the better you're clashing. So, I really like that. But, without further ado, we have one more ID to go over. One I'm very excited about, as it is my favorite center, after all. Let's get this zoomed in here. There we go. The 000 for this one, the Ring Pointillist Student Yi Sang. 3 pierce skills again. Okay. Yeah. All right. Another 3 pierce. So very good if you get that pierce power up from Outis's skill 3. We have a, let's see, that's a Gloom, a Lust, and a Sloth. Interesting. Sloth is another one that's pretty rare. Gloom is always nice to have because of fluid sectioning, so that's good as well. Unlike Outis, we have 3 coins on the first skill, a single coin on the second skill, and 4 coins on the skill 3. And let's jump into it. Skill 1, Paint Over. The target has X plus bleed, gain clash power, of course. On a head hit, inflict 1 count for the round. Count. Oh, count for the following effects: burn, bleed, tremor, rupture, sinking. That's honestly really nice because, hey, you know, you have all these random effects going on your targets. They're going to be expiring fairly often. But if you get the count, if you get the RNG in your favor and you roll count on it, well, that extends the duration by a ton. Another round, which is a lot of time in Limbus Company. And that just means you get to keep doing your stuff. You get to keep rolling on that clash power, keep rolling on that damage. Nice. And the second hit inflicts, or in the third hit inflicts bleed. So the second and third hit do that. Okay, yeah, it's nice to have. It'll just be a nice little bit of RNG on top of hopefully a consistent skill, because, you know, a 3-coin skill 1 is nothing to sneeze at. Skill 2, single coin skill. These are interesting. I'm not usually too crazy about single coin skills. They usually are not the best, but, you know, let's see. Looks like already we're getting clash power and coin power for the bleed. That's good. The worst part about single coin skills is you have to be able to clash them. And if they can't meet clashes on a consistent basis, they're pretty much worthless in comparison to multi-coin skills. So if this clashes very well, hey, I'll take it. And then, oh, on hit, chance to reuse coin. Plus 5% chance to reuse coin for every Z negative effect on target. In addition, inflicting bleed count and inflicting count for one of those following effects. Interesting. Okay, so the nice thing though is about single coin skills is typically they will clash higher on average as they need to, and that means that any effects that reuse them, because they roll pretty high, are invaluable. So depending on how high this skill rolls on average, especially when it starts scaling, if you start reusing that coin a bunch, oh man, then you're just cooking. And hey, let's not, forget, you're inflicting bleed count and another count of the random effects on the skill every time it's being used. Which means if you reuse the skill a bunch, not only are you actually continuing to get your bleed count up, but you're getting your other random counts up as well. What if you reuse the coin 3-4 times? I mean, that's a bit much, but let's just say best case scenario, 3-4 times, maybe more. And say you're hitting your big stuff, like you're hitting your rupture count, your bleed count, your sinking count on like a normal basis every time. That means your bleed is never going to fall off the target, because you're getting that bleed count just like really like notched up. If this hits 3 times, that's 3 bleed count. That's insane. That's huge for a debuff team to have this much count coming out just from one skill. And then, hey, if you hit Rupture, if you hit Sinking, if you hit Tremor, if that's what you're going for, it just makes that better too. Very, very cool. So now we have 2 skills on Yiseng that inflict count. So let's see what the skill 3 has. I'm already kind of, these IDs came out of nowhere for me, and they are just, my head is spinning with thoughts of how to use them and what comps, what this team is going to look like, how the mirror dungeons are going to look like when you get those ego gifts stacked up. And they're just with IDs like these, they're scaling on everything. Well, they're scaling on bleed, of course, but like they just start scaling off everything. I'm interested. I know I have to stop saying that. I've already said it like 4 or 5 times, but you know what I mean. I'm just excited. I love these kit reveals. My favorite time of the. They're my favorite. Like, I love doing them. It's just, getting able to get that first impression out there and really just enjoying all the theory crafting. But I still have one more skill to go over, so I'll stop rattling on. The skill 3, thematic coloring. Gain, okay, yeah. Flash power and coin power. Alright, cool. And of course, scaling off the bleed and the count, which he himself is not like racketing up there. Very good. On a hit. On the second hit, inflict bleed count. Or it has effect, inflict additional bleed count. Holy smokes. And then again, in that same hit, you're also inflicting count on a random effect. There's so much count going out. So much bleed count. Your bleed is never going to expire. If you're running a bleed team, just throw Yiseng in there. Like, even if he has nothing to do with the rest of the team synergy, doesn't matter. Throw him in there. Oh, you're running a 5 out of 6 Kurakumo clan, whatever. If that's ever a team, throw him in there. Because he's going to make sure you never run out of bleed count. That's insane. On the third hit, we're inflicting bleed. Target has an extended effect, inflict additional bleed. Just cause we have bleed on top of bleed on top of bleed. And by the way, there's more bleed, in case you didn't know. Also inflicting the random effect. And then the final skill, or the final coin of the skill, the 4th coin. Deal % more damage for every Y negative effect on target, which is also scaling harder even based on the previous hits of this skill. And then after the attack, the target is staggered, defeated, inflict one of the following effects on 2 enemies with the least status effects. It's the negative effects. Effects selected at random. Again, on stagger or defeated. Much easier to meet than just on defeat, especially for a skill that has 4 coins on it. I think it's still going to be difficult to meet that. Oh wait, no, it's after the attack. Oh, it's perfect. Fine. Yeah, no, that's amazing. So even if he just staggers on the first hit or the second hit, you're still going to get that effect. Just spreading those negative status effects. Really just ramping up your IDs and yourself in the process. Love it. These are really cool IDs. I'm already just in love with these. It looks like we have another defense skill. That's a shield. Gain base power for every X blade on target. Yep, okay, please. Scale super hard, because I think personally, I think that out of all three of the defense skills, the just straight defense might be by far the weakest. You know, counter is also not really that great, but at least with counter, you're getting value out of it for still doing damage to your opponent or applying it like a status effect. With defense, you know, most of the time you're breaking even, which is bad. If you take more damage and it actually eats into your health after your shield, that's a net negative, which is terrible. And since defense skills, which I personally think to buff them, they should make you completely endured to whatever damage is being done to you. If you're defending against something that you're weak to, you may as well just not defend at all. It's pointless. You're going to take more damage than the shield no matter what, unless you're like a DC ID or Philip Clare. Anything else is just going to eat right through you and then stagger you. So I hope these defense skills scale really hard, because typically I'm not a fan of them. But we'll point out this defense skill and the last one for Outis, right here, both lust. So looks like we have a little bit of soft lust synergy going on with this team. Okay, this team's gonna want lust affinity or resonance, we'll see. But moving on, assignment evaluation. On hit, if the target has X plus bleed, heal SP. Amazing. Already amazing. Anything that heals SP, love it. Anything that makes you heal just on a very consistent basis, like this, an easy conditional, amazing. Heal additional SP for every X negative status effect on the target. Double dipping on SP regain. Wow. Like I said, that's all that you want. Like, all you could ask for a passive is something that gets you going faster. And if it's not applying status effects, it is healing your SP. The closer you get to max SP, the better you're clashing, and the more consistent you are in those tougher activities and the end game content. So, amazing. You know, it's going to ramp you up at least a turn or two ahead of every other team that doesn't have innate SP gain. And that's huge most of the time. Last one, as we have a third point to this one passive. If this unit's SP is at max, gain offense level next turn when this unit heals SP from this effect. Incredible. Look at that. Not only do we have one source of consistent SP gain, we have another source of consistent SP gain on the same passive, and then we have, by the way, your really consistent SP gain. If you max out like you will very easily, you get offense level up. Great. I am so happy that a lot of the new passives that are coming out are actually quite powerful. Excuse me, I was yawning. It is in the morning, so do forgive me. What I was saying was that, you know, a lot of passives have been kind of like meh, or you don't even really look at them for most IDs. But recently, what PM's been doing with a lot of these, making really good passives that are really impactful. Really enjoying that, and I hope they continue that going forward, because, you know, the better for us. Even if it's a little bit power creepy, who cares? Get some power creep in there. I want these cool IDs. I want to use them. And I want to use them as a bleed team. It sounds sick. And then support passive. Practices on anesthetics. Or practices on aesthetics. Yeah, that's what we'll call it. One ally with the least SP heals SP on hit for every X negative effect on target. That's incredible. On its own, you'd run that in the back just to have it for, like, I don't know, every team? Every team in the game benefits on that. Because almost every team in the game has a negative effect that they're applying. Even like Rupture. Even they have stuff built in that applies, or not Rupture, even Charge. Because they have stuff built in that applies Rupture and other stuff. So hey, this might be one of the best support passes in the game. Just throw it in. SP heal. Awesome. Go for it. If the target has bleed, heal additional SP. Amazing. Of course, like I said before, you're not going to be using this or Outis with the Blade Lineage team. Probably on purpose. Because they didn't want you double dipping. But, hey, any other Blade team in the game? Kurokuma clan, especially? You can throw them on the back line. You're ramping your SP higher. Damn, look at that. I was honestly, I had no idea what to expect going in on these IDs. Now I'm coming out of it a lot more let's find a different word. I am a lot more, well, let's just say that I'm invested in this team now. You know, I you know, when I first had heard of them and I'd heard they were going to be bleed based, I was thinking like, okay, well, we're going to get some Kurokuma clones. They're going to have bleed stacking and then maybe like one other interesting thing going on. And it's not going to be all that impactful. They're going to be whatever. They're just biding time until Earl King Heathcliff hits the game, which I'm still predicting will be next banner. If it's not next banner, then, well, I have an egg on my face, but whenever Earl Heathcliff comes, of course, that's going to be the big pop, and they're just biding time till then with Wapungus Knocked and all this. But, actually, looking at these, I want to see where the middle team goes. Is it going to be like DC, where we're only going to get 2 or 3 of these IDs, and then that's going to be it? Or are we going to get like a maybe 4 or 5 near a full team? Maybe in preparation for the next story event. Who knows? Especially when we have these skills on both of them, that looks like this may be the gimmick of they all have a skill that not only inflicts random effects for RNG crazies and fun slot machine stuff, but also a skill that presumably rolls high and does a lot of damage that reuses coins and can continue to reuse coins as long as you keep hitting the conditional. That is a great foundation to build on for a team, and that will be super fun and super cool. Even if it's not the best, it will be fun. You know, there's nothing quite like hitting another, like a reuse coin effect, and then especially if it's multiple. So just imagine, you know, you're doing a fight on a boss and you hit that 3rd reuse, 4th reuse, 5th reuse, maybe even 6th reuse, and you just nuke that boss and you hit them to stagger or you just kill them outright. That's gonna feel incredible. But that is all I have for you today. I'm looking forward to these. I want to see where these go. I want to see if we're going to get more of these or if this is just a one-off. But either way, as always, always happy to do these videos. And your support means the world to me. I really enjoy making them, and I will continue to do so. These videos have been getting a lot of love, and I cannot thank you enough for that. And the more people that are enjoying, the more that it makes me happy. Not because I care about, like, you know, I don't look at the view count as a number and go, yeah, oh man, I feel super good, all these people watch my video. That's not really it. It's more so I get enjoyment out of, you know, the people that have come to watch and then that leave enjoying what they saw. And, you know, as long as you leave, like I said a long time ago, as long as you leave my videos with a smile on your face, I'm happy. That's all I'm trying to do here. I'm doing my own thing, but I also want to make other people happy too, as it goes along. If I can make your day any better, then that's all I need. That means the world to me. I hope you all enjoyed Mother's Day yesterday. Take the video real quick. And I hope that going forward you continue to have a great day and a great summer. I will see you all in the next episode. Whether that be a story update or more IDs. Bye-bye.